Hey, good morning. Yes, it is. It is Sunday, March 30th. So, what are we going to talk about today? Well, I thought we'd talk about what all of us have had happen to us and will continue to happen to us in the future and ways to minimize it, and that's bad days. We all have bad days, right? But what we do with those bad days are going to make a difference. So, stay tuned. Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. My name is Eric, if you didn't already know. And yes, this is the weekend. Today is the Sunday sermon, and we're talking about how to deal with bad days. Now, if you've been on this earth any amount of time, you have experienced bad days, right? We all have bad days. And it depends upon how we react to those bad days that will make a difference. Right? Alright, so typically when I have a bad day, my mind goes and it will bring up hundreds of other instances that I've had bad days in umpteen years, right? But that's where the problem lies. Is that instead of us looking at it as being just a bad day, we embellish it, right? The mind embellishes it. It always happens to me. Oh, geez, and there's so many different ways that you can look at it and deal with it in a positive way. And that's what I want to talk about today, is not when you have a bad day. It's not if you have a bad day. It's you will have bad days, right? And some of those days you're going to have to go back to the core of what is positive. I'm still alive. I'm still here on earth for another day, right? I mean, that's taking it back as far as you can, but you can also find other things to do about it. And that is, first, is just understand it is what it is. It's just simply a bad day. We all have them. You're going to have more of them. And the idea is to minimize the effects that it can have. So on bad days, what I tend to do is I don't take on important projects. I don't go do important things that are important to me. I've been writing a book. Will it ever get published? Only God knows. But on the bad days, I don't go towards the book to try to do anything with it. Because what'll end up happening is I'll have a negative slant on everything when there were so many positive things that came of it, and still are, right? So we have to look at it for what it is, and that is, it's just simply another day, a bad day, that not to get too excited about it, not to take it out on other people, not to bring us down any further than what it is just understanding what it is simply a bad day. And stop it at that. The second thing we can do with it is understand and not get into that thinking of it always happens to me, I'm never going to get this, all these negative words start cycling, right? And you have to have something that puts a stop to it. See, we do have the ability to control our mind, right? Or at least some of us do. The key is to change the focus, all right? We don't want to focus too much on what went wrong. Look at the positives that have taken place that day, or that are taking place that day, or how can you take it from a negative to a positive? What is within your grasp? And I can tell you how you look and feel about things is within your ability to change it. So let's take it to the third thing you probably should do is look at it and say, what caused it to be a bad day? Can we make it a teachable moment of things to make sure we put in place so it doesn't happen again? By doing so, it creates a teachable moment. It means if we do X, Y, and Z, the outcome is usually it sucks. But if we change it up and do something different where it's safer, where it's not as confrontational, there's ways if you really want to look at something and break it down and find what should I stay away from in the future, right? You could take examples like with my heart and having quadruple bypass. Some of the things that you could do would be, well, smoking didn't help it, drinking didn't help it, what you were eating for foods didn't help it. You could minimize it by not smoking as much, not drinking as much, and eating healthier with exercise. I was getting plenty of exercise, but all the other things I wasn't, right? But if I look at the positive of the surgery, there's so many things that took place. I'm closer with my family and my friends, closer with you. I have started eating better, exercising. I actually quit smoking and drinking, not because I thought I should because of my heart. It's because smoking, I just don't have any urge, and drinking, it tastes like crap to me, like a lot of other foods. But if I take that situation, I can think of a lot of negative things that happened during it, But the positive things that took place far outweighed the negative. Did I have bad days when I was in the hospital? Yes. Have I had bad days in my recovery, whether it was at my daughter's or at my house? Yes. Am I going to have more bad days? Yes. We all have bad days. And I think just knowing that other people go through hard times as well, of overcoming their weaknesses with strength. Strength in numbers. That if you're having a bad day, you might want to reach out to somebody that could brighten your day. There's always that somebody. So what else can we do to minimize those bad days? We can break it down to its core and try to figure out what is it, and then make sure that you don't allow it to spill over into the following day. All right? And what do I mean by that? I mean, if you get up in the morning and you're thinking about yesterday that was a bad day, it sets the tone, right? Of what's going to happen next. And if you look at it that way, sometimes it's a self-prophecy of if you say things are going to happen, sometimes you make them happen, right? And that's what a self-fulfilling prophecy is when you say things are probably going to happen and then you do things or say things accordingly that bring it to actually happening. You don't want to play those games, right? If you have a strong belief like I do in God, you also understand that, I was told years ago that He's not going to give you anything more than what you can handle. And I'll tell you, there's been days that I'm like, Lord, you must really hate me to put me through this. But everything that I've been through, I can tell you positive things about. As bad as it was, I see positive things. And that's one way he teaches us. You aren't going to understand good and having it good unless you've had it bad, right? Kind of like hot and cold water. It's how you teach a child what is hot and what is cold. Same thing with positive and negative thinking. It's two extremes. And most of us run somewhere in the center, right? Because you can't be positive about everything all the time. At least I haven't met anybody that's like that. You know, we're going to have days that we're sad. We're going to have days that we're joyous and happy. And we're going to have days that we're totally pissed off. That's life. Right? Don't let it spill over into other relationships. And what does that mean? That means if you're having a bad day at work, don't bring it home to your wife and kids or your husband and kids. Understand that it is what it is. It's a bad day at work. And one of the things that I learned early on, it wasn't because I didn't want to bring a bad day home to my wife, is I didn't want her to worry about the working conditions that I was working in underground as a miner. So I learned to turn off work when I got done at work. Whatever happened at work stayed at work. So when I got home, I was happy to see the family and spend time with them. And if we were having difficulties with the family, I would turn it off the minute I showed up at work because I didn't want it affecting my work to where I wasn't paying attention and could get hurt or worse, killed. But that's something to think about when it comes to if you're in a high stressful job, is to turn it off when you're done at work. And when you get home, enjoy the home life. And again, if things aren't going that great in your home life, you need to shut that off when you go to work. Right? You can't have that spill over into your day. Your mind is going to try to get it to spill over, but you need to no, it's not happening. And it takes practice. Today's video is not going to be that long. It's just going to be about resilience. It's about understanding the way things are. And in life, you're going to have good and bad days. And the key is to have more good days than bad days. And yes, it's within our control of what we think. So on that note, you guys have a great Sunday, and I'll catch you here bright and early tomorrow morning for the weekday, Monday through Friday. Let me know in the comments how you deal with bad days. It might help the rest of us.